So I feel like an ass today, and I feel like I look like an ass today. So I picked some makeup products from my makeup collection and decided to film a shop my stash. I am breaking out, as you can see. I have some things. My nail polish looks like ass. Yeah, I picked up some makeup bits. I only have about 43 minutes to film, so I'm gonna quickly move into the video. But if you are unaware of what a shop my stash is, it is basically shopping in your own makeup collection and using products that you haven't used in a while or that you're like excited to use. So I have a couple of Nabla palettes and also some new products actually. For example, some new Milani products. I have their blush and their bronzer. I also have a blush that I wanted to show you because I haven't been able to show this to you guys from her. This is the Moist and Cool blusher. It's like a Korean brand. I am going to try and feel less like an ass today by playing with some makeup, so let's go. So first things first, I'm going to use the Catrice Skin Glaze Hydrating Serum Primer. I actually said that this was in my project pen, but I did end up using it, so there we are right now. I'm just gonna... Why do I do that? Why do I do that? Why do I put myself on the internet like that? I actually said that I wasn't using this in my project pen, which is true. However, I am using it now, so I might as well put it in my project pen. I don't know why. I kind of picked it up one day and it was like, what would happen if I put this on top of my skincare? And then I did so, and yeah, here we are. If you're wondering about this green wall, by the way, not my usual setup, but I'm currently at my boyfriend's house, so I'm filming in our bedroom, and it has like a green wall from the previous owners. I don't really know why I'm telling you that, but I have beef with this room. Every time I come in here, I'm like, these previous owners did such a bad painting job. Yeah, my dad is a painter, and much more than that. So, you know, throughout the years, they kind of pick up on things that you should be doing while painting and things that you shouldn't be doing. And like, this might be a painful example of DIY that I can think about when it comes to painting. So skin is prepped. I'm actually going to prep it as well with a little bit of the Catrice Prime and Fine Multi-Talent Fixing Spray. I used to love the Catrice Glow Spray. It was like the same as this one, but with a little bit of glow to it. They don't have that one anymore, which is such a shame. But you know, this is the closest one, and I picked it up again because I was like, it's been a while and I actually don't have setting spray, and I never use setting spray anymore. But I was like, I'm gonna pick it up, whatever. So I'm gonna... Still smells the same though. Also, I have in mind a eyeshadow look that is like blue, but with the combination of like brown. Thinking if I should do my eyes first or my face first. The thing is, if I do my eyes first, it's easier because then the cleanup is like the face base. But if I do my base first, it's very weird to say this, but I look prettier throughout the video because my skin will be even. So I don't really know what to do about that, but I actually think I'm gonna forego the societal expectations and just do my eyes. I'm still gonna look a little bit crappy throughout this video, but you know, that's just the way it is, I guess. So it's actually quite funny because, well, it's funny to me, but I picked up 3 Nabla palettes when going through my collection. This is the Nabla Midnight palette. It's one of my favorite blue tone eyeshadow palettes, especially one shade, as you can see, this one, because I panned it like crazy. And then I also really love the shade underneath, which is Alma. Then I also picked up the Nabla Soul Blooming eyeshadow palette. This has been in my collection for so long, but I still love it. I think this is like 2018, 2017 stuff. And then I also picked up the Nabla Secret palette because this has some really nice neutrals and that denim blue. I really love that one as well. I've got 3 Nabla palettes to play with. So like I said before, I was thinking of some like brown blue makeup look. So that is what we're gonna do. Something very soft, not too graphic. First things first, we're gonna brush up the brows. I am going to use like a brow gel later. You know, some days you just kind of wake up and you're like, this is not the day for me. And today was one of those days. And normally what I do as a 26-year-old is I take my phone, I take my blankets, I go to bed, and I read Wattpad, and that is usually what I do. Wattpad? That's what I do. I go to bed and I read Wattpad for like an entire day. And it's fine because that's my way of relaxing, but it is kind of funny. But I was also at the same time thinking, that I should really film a video, and I was planning to show myself for a while. Then stop babbling. Okay, so I'm gonna apply a little bit of concealer to my eyelids. I am thinking of buying I feel like I've said this like 100 times, but I'm thinking of buying a eyeshadow primer instead of like concealer, but concealer just works very well for me. Okay, so we're gonna look like this throughout the video. It's gonna look weird, but it's the way it is. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of concealer and just very quickly spot concealer on this gigantic, it's my own fault, I ate too much sugar. I'm gonna look like that for a while. I'm gonna let it dry down. I'm gonna take my Nabla Soul Blooming palette, and I'm going to mix these two shades, so this one and this one right here, just to kind of create the perfect brown that I want. So those are the shades Chamomile and Middle Karma. I wonder what Middle Karma is. Welcome to the close-up. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm mainly going to work on the outer corner and you see this line right here, like the fold of my eye? I'm going to go above that and not on top of it to create a little bit of like a new shape diagonally like that. I've been trying to decrease the amount of sugar that I'm eating, so I don't really do snacks or anything like that anymore. And I also don't really eat a lot of cookies and stuff like that anymore, like any type of garbage really. Okay, that looks intense, but trust the process. You know, there is this thing, if you don't have it in your environment, it's easy not to eat too much. Like, I don't necessarily mind eating cookies every once in a while, but I do mind eating too much, and that is something that I do always. And I do not mind it when it's like it's been a while and I can eat it and I enjoy it, but you know, I don't like it when I actually feel bad about eating it, and that's kind of what happened. I just ate too much wine gums and what else, like Biscoff cookies with like vanilla cream inside of it. They look like Oreos, but like it's like better. So I did that, and I was very pleased with myself. It's a weird thing, you know, because you don't want to feel bad about the fact that you're eating, but I just felt bad because I really ate too much, and now I suffer the consequences. It wasn't like a couple of cookies and then quitting. It was like the entire thing. And I was like, oh gosh, then what are you doing? And trying to keep like this part just blank with no product or no brown eyeshadow on it, because otherwise it's going to mix weirdly with the blue. Then I'm taking the Nabla Secret palette, and then I'm taking the shade Mea Culpa, which is like this brownie shade, and just dip my brush into that very lightly. And we're gonna create a little bit of a V shape to create some depth. So this is very messy, but it's fine because we're gonna blend it out in a bit. And this is just gonna give it a little bit of a depth. As you can see, I did it on the other side as well. And then I'm gonna just blend it. And this in itself is already like a really nice glam look. So if I were to just do a very neutral look, I would add some translucent powder on top of this, like on top of the whiteness where we didn't put any shadow, and then it's like a really cool soft glam kind of look. I'm taking this really fluffy blender from Boozy Shop, and we're just gonna twirl it around to really diffuse the edges. Then I'm gonna take my Nabla Midnight palette and I'm gonna take the shade Air, which is also oh my gosh, I look so pink right now. Wait, I'm gonna take the shade Air and I'm gonna apply that on top of where like we didn't put any eyeshadow, so on top of the lid really. This is a very lightly pigmented shade, but it builds up quite nicely, and it is a little bit like chalky, so you want to be aware of that. And then into this V-line, I'm just gonna put a little bit as well, but be very careful there. I'm gonna go also just like up, like right here, this kind of like brow bone situation. I'm also putting some of that light color there, and if you want to, you can kind of drag that blue through the V, so it kind of cuts through it. So then just taking my brush and very lightly smoothing those edges. So I have this Essence Long Lasting eye pencil in the shade Black Fever, and I'm just going to apply that to the waterline, upper waterline, pushing that right there as well to create a little bit of a very tiny liner. Other than that, we're using that to fill in the lash line. going into the outer corner right here. Then where we put the liner as like an eyeliner, I'm just gonna take this tiny brush, kind of drag it out a little bit. This is currently the eyeshadow look. Now I'm gonna zoom you guys out and we're gonna do the face. I'm gonna apply a little bit of this Catrice Max It Up Lip Booster Extreme Icy Lip Plumper, just as a little bit of a touch and to moisturize my lips. And also this has like a blue reflex, so I thought with AIs that's cute. So I was going to do underpainting, but because the foundation is quite pigmented, it's not going to end up the way I wanted to. But first I'm going to very lightly blend out these spot concealer spots. So the foundation that I want to use today is the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. So I've been focusing on my Project Hem foundation lately, so I haven't been able to really use this. It says to shake well before use. So I kind of want to take the opportunity to use this a little bit more. I don't have a review for you because I don't feel like I've used it enough. However, I feel like I'm able to say that this is definitely a foundation for like my glam days. It's a foundation. It's not a skin tint. 40 Fair Neutral is the shade. Rub this on the back of my hand and then I take my sponge and I blend this out. I'm not going to use too much. And as you can see, that shade is almost like a dead on match. The thing that I like my foundation to do is even out my skin tones. So not necessarily getting rid of the redness, but evening it out a little bit and softening the redness that is naturally in my face, but I don't like it to feel like a mask on my skin. I will give you my full thoughts on this in the future. For bronzer, I have the new Milani Cheek Kiss Cream Bronzer in the shade 110 Hey Honey. Lipstick Lesbians, I think they're called, on TikTok, and I saw somewhere that they said that this is a really nice bronzer. I was very intrigued and I wanted to use it. So it's not necessarily new, but it's like new to me. The shade is absolutely too dark for me, so that's a little bit of a shame. This is what it looks like when I even blend it out a little bit. So as you can see, that's a bit much for me. So that is what we're gonna do. So on the forehead, you can definitely immediately see the warmth, and I feel like today is the perfect opportunity. Oh shit, used too much. So we're gonna warm up the skin a little bit because it does need that little bit of warming up. Also putting some bronzer right next to the brow bone. So definitely working in light layers with this bronzer. And I feel like it's a little bit of a different shade. It would work really beautifully for me. I'm also applying a little bit of the Catrice Magic Shaper Contour and Glow Stick with the contour side, mainly on my nose. And then I'm also going to blend that out with the Boozy Shop small angled contour brush. I have like a hair right here that is itching me. I have a very important question. I have been looking for a new series to watch and I haven't really found anything that even remotely interests me. I think the last thing that I watched that I was like very excited about was Shrinking. But other than that, I've been just kind of looking for a series to watch and I find it very difficult to start. So if you have like any recommendations, they are very welcome. Then for blush, we have the Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush in the shade 150 Wine Glow. Now this is the liquid blush. It's a gel cream infused with watermelon, pomegranate and rose extracts. So I'm just gonna do a dot of this because I have a feeling that this is very pigmented. I was right. I don't know why, but I've been really drawn to these like reddish brown blushes. I'm gonna use it with the same brush as the bronzer and I'm just gonna distribute that first so it's not too pigmented in my brush and then apply it to the cheek.
Hi.
Yeah, that's a pretty shade. It's a very beautiful shade. I like that. We're gonna add a blush on top, so I don't want too much blush right now. But this is already giving a very beautiful flush to the face, so I really like that. Forgot concealer. I forgot concealer completely. I'm gonna use my Project Pen Fenty Beauty We Are Even Hydrating Concealer. Completely forgot about concealer for a second, and I'm just gonna take we're gonna blend this out. And this is kind of necessary to just kind of clean up underneath the eye area. Now I'm going to take the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder. This is, as you can see, a very well-loved powder. And I'm just going to take that underneath the eyes. I feel like the rest of my skin today is already quite dry. so it doesn't need too much powder. But my under eyes kind of need it because we're gonna apply a little bit of shadow underneath them. Then the only thing that I have left to do when it comes to the base makeup is using another blush because I love it. So this is the Her Moist and Cold blusher, and this is the shade 03 Rose Brown. Again, it's like one of those rosy brown blushes, and I'm gonna swatch it for you because this is quite a sheer blush, so it looks like this at first and then you blend it out, and yeah, this is just beautiful. It's very sheer, but I love using this as a blush topper on top of my other blushes that I've used on my face to just give it a little bit of like radiance and life back into the skin. Going back into the eyes, I'm going to brush up my eyebrows again. So the eyebrow gel that I used daily, like always, is the Essence Fix It Like a Pro Transparent Brow Gel. This is just very cheap and very good. And it's not good because it's cheap, but it's just good and cheap. So that's really lovely. So I go through my brows like this, and then at the ends, I kind of straighten them out a little bit. And then in the front, I do feather them a little bit like that. And then I do the same thing on this side. So I go back in with the product, feather them into the front, and then at the end, I kind of shape them a little bit straighter, a little bit together. I'm not going to do too much on the lower lashes because I feel like right now they look very awake. I don't want to look too sleepy because that's something that I feel like happens whenever I'm using some underneath the eyeshadow. I am going to take again the mixture in the Nabla Soul Blooming palette of what was this again? Chamomile and Milk Karma. Tiny brush and just kind of on the outer corner, adding a little bit of this. Now, I'm not going to go in. I'm not doing that because that is what makes me look tired, but we're definitely doing it on the outer corner. So I'm going to do the lips now. Now I have two eyeliners. I'm sorry. First of all, we have the Catrice Intense Matte Lip Pen. So this is the shade, it doesn't say, I'm sorry. Oh, 010 Cinnamon Spice. Now these kind of remind me of the red lip liners that they came out with. It has like no longevity whatsoever, but it has the ability to shape your lips ever so slightly. As you can see, it just kind of gives them something, but not too much. It doesn't give them a whole lot of dimension. And then I'm going in with the Catrice Pumping Lip Liner in the shade Manhattan to really shape the lips a little bit. My eye is crying wide, and this liner is really going to shape the lips, whereas the other one is just kind of giving it a wash of color. Then for lipstick, I am using two of the Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. So I have the shade Velvet Fawn and Les Mépris. So this is Velvet Fawn, cool tone, beautiful muted rose. Like that. So the other one is Les Mépris, and then when you swatch it, this is more of like a creamy one. And then it's a little bit warmer, and I'm gonna put that into the center of the lips. There we go. And I feel like the two of them together combined is beautiful. And then as a final touch, we're gonna use the Catrice Max It Up Lip Booster Extreme. Like that. And I'll be right back with the hair and mascara completed. So that, guys, is the makeup look. I applied my mascara and I did my hair. I'm laughing because it took a while to do my hair and I feel like it's still looking a little bit odd, but you know, it is what it is. This is what the final end result of my Shop My Sash looks like. I am feeling a little bit less like ass. I feel like I look a little bit like ass right now. I just feel a lot better, and I'm happy that I filmed a makeup video, and I hope you were inspired and entertained. And it was also just great fun to use some older makeup palettes. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!